What's good? It's Jordan. Today I'll be talking to you about let the hate make you great. Anytime that you decide to elevate in this world and want to put God first, want to follow God with all your heart, want to please God instead of pleasing man, hate will come with it. Anytime that you do something different that you are not used to, you will be subject to conflict. Change is great, but you have to understand that with change, there is going to be pushback. With everything that is approving to God, there will be pushback. When you decide that you want to pursue God to the fullest extent and place your heart towards God and reap the benefits of following God, there will be pushback. There will be hate for that. Understand that you didn't do anything, but the people around you don't understand why you decided to follow and pursue God with all your heart. Know that these people who feel that way haven't understood God's blessing. They haven't understood that God is our keeper and protector. They feel as though they're their own keepers and protectors. They feel as though they cannot walk away from their temptation. They feel as though they have the strength and power in their own life to dictate where they go in their own life through resources. Understand, you're going to have people in this life that love you for your change, and you're going to have people in this life that hate you for your change. So this means that we must be well aware and we must be well equipped, because the battle is spiritual. Even in this world, when you decide that you don't want to do certain things that you used to do, you may have smoked, drank, harmed people physically, verbally. You may have gossiped. You may have stole from somebody. You may have been around environments that you weren't necessarily supposed to be around, fornicating, being lustful, committing to adultery. Understand that when you make this change and you remove yourself from these environments and these things, the people who are not used to the new you and the person that you are now, following the Most High, the true and living God, will not be used to it. They'll always try to bring you back to your old life. And when you change and when you decide to make the change, they will try to bring up your past to keep you in your past. Many times when you try to change, someone will try to bring up something of your past to pull you back into your past. That is the enemy working through that individual to stop you from following God. When you don't want to hang around this area, be around this person, do this thing in this environment, the people around that environment that are still doing these things will try to pull you back into that life to do those things, so they can say, well, at least you're doing those things with me, so both of us are going to face the consequences. People don't want to face consequences alone. They want to face consequences with somebody else, so they feel like everything is fine and everything is normal, because at least if I'm going through it, you must go through it too. So when we both go through the consequence won't be that bad. But when someone goes through a consequence alone, then that's where fear comes into place. Fear of the unknown comes into place, where it's a nervous wreck being alone and not understanding the consequences that you're going through for your decisions. But in all, we all can change. We all can follow God. We all must understand that even if we've done stuff in our past that God doesn't approve of, we still could come to God and change. But if we decide that we want to stay around these environments where people do not like us, hate on us, then how can God work through us to provide his message to other people who need guidance and need help? Understand that you have people in this world, in this life, that you may be following God with all your heart, and there's still going to be an opinion. There's still going to be a problem. there's still going to be something that stops you from actually having a connection with those people, and that is the enemy. The enemy will try to stop you from following God. You may be somebody who follows God with all your heart, but has hobbies like myself. I may take trips to another country, look at the art scene in another country, look at the fashion scene in another country. I may record the arts and fashion scene because these are hobbies to me that I feel are a sense of entertainment for myself. I may go to another country, try different food, post reels or videos on my social media platforms of these places that are providing arts, fashion, providing a different menu of food in another country, try different hobbies like working out, rock climbing, biking, doing cardio, running, trying different clothes and how clothing and fashion are innovative. We have seen different innovation through clothing, architecture, art scenes, fashion, which is what I'm into and what I like as a hobby. Working out, just trying something new outside of the box. And you're going to have people who hate on you for even doing that. You're going to have people who have a problem with you for doing those things, and they feel that since I'm a believer in the true and living God and a follower of the true and living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Israel, that I shouldn't be entertaining these things and using it as a hobby, but I should be just following God and just focusing on the Lord and just being in one place, and everything has to do with following God, and that's it. And if you have hobbies for yourself, then that isn't right. You can't change your wardrobe. You can't look at your personal style and identify what style you want to change your style to. You can't wear designer shoes. You can't wear designer clothes. You can't learn the history behind these designers who make these garments. You can't watch movies. You can't eat fast food. You can't look at the innovation of technology in cars and understanding where these things take place. But you should just focus on God. And they feel as though that if you do things on a different spectrum as hobbies, then there's a problem and you're not a true follower of God, which that is wrong. And I feel as though that is hating as well, because in this world, God is the head of everything. God is the head of my life. What I will say is the hobbies that I do entertain, they have to be something of a moral compass that is really right and that is approving of the Lord. Like, if you're a follower of God, there's certain activities that you're not going to pursue and certain activities that you're not going to do. And as long as your activities aren't harmful with your relationship with God, that God doesn't approve of, and these hobbies and activities actually triumph over following God and actually help you to lose a connection with God, then there shouldn't be a problem with it. But in all, even as a follower of God, you still have to do things in a way where even in these hobbies and activities, you're not doing the wrong thing and you're not doing things that are just far off and outside of God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Because there are activities out there that really are far away from God and just pulling you into the world and the enemy's will for your life. So we must understand today that whatever you do, there's always going to be hate. There's always going to be somebody that has an opinion, even when you're trying to make a change in your life. And today I want to read the scripture and help you understand how we could use hate in this world and in this life to fuel ourselves and strengthen ourselves with the connection of the Most High and how we can navigate this society through the hate that we all will receive. Luke 6:22. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil, for the Son of Man's sake. Matthew 24:9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. John 15:18. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. John 3:20. For everyone that doeth evil hath the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds shall be reproved. Understand that today, in this time period, there will be hate. I have hate in my own life. You have hate in your own life. You may be an individual who hates others and wants to take your wrath out on other people. God doesn't approve of these things. I have an example where I was making a YouTube video and someone had made a comment on that YouTube video stating that I should stop talking about God and I'm too young to be talking about God, and just pure shaming language and saying that I do drugs and that my analogy of following God is way off and I will be punished for my analogy on how I follow God. This is upright hate and the work of the enemy. But I will say this will not stop me from following the true and living God. And this will not stop me from doing the daily activities in my daily life that provide me entertainment, that provide me a sense of comfort in my routine. And it will not stop me from putting God first and following the true and living God, because sometimes people will hate you and try to spew words that stop you from promoting the message of God and stop you from actually doing the work of God. But in all, it doesn't stop me from doing the work of God. It even fuels me to spread this message more, because anytime you do something that follows God, you're going to have pushback, you're going to have flack, you're going to have people who have negative opinions, and you're going to have people who have positive opinions. So this is the life we live. This is the life where we must understand where we should place our full focus into, and that is following God and understanding that Jesus Christ is the Messiah, the way, the truth, and the life. And even Jesus Christ, the Messiah, had to go through hate. When he was helping people, when he was providing miracles and showing people miracles and helping and showing people that his grace is far than what we ever could imagine, you had other people that were hating on him when he was doing that. So it isn't different from what we may decide to do in this life now, but we have to understand it and we got to push forward and keep going. So know that what we must do is let the hate make you great. And if you are an individual who is a hater and just promotes negativity and hate and angst and wrath towards others, repent, change your ways, follow God, or God will judge you and God will deal with you for your hater ways. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Share this video. Like this video so it could get into the algorithm. People need to hear this message. Peace.